The Amabhungane Centre for Investigative Journalism has published the most extraordinary story this morning about electricity power generation claims of corruption. It says that one of the people who lost out in the bidding process to generate electricity as an independent power producer under the Emergency Independent Power Procurement Programme has said under oath that they were offered a way to win the contract through a bribe. Last month, the Energy Ministry announced that the company Car Power Ships had won a contract to generate electricity using ships that would produce electricity using liquefied natural gas. They would anchor ships at harbours around the country. Dewald Van Rensburg is from Amabhungane Centre. He joins us now. Dewald, good afternoon to you. You're going to have to start me at the beginning here. We remember the contracts being awarded. We remember it being explained to us how these car power ships would work. What is this bidder claiming? What does he say happened in this process?
Okay, so the bidder is himself a LNG bidder. He wanted to use liquid natural gas as well, the big difference being he was building power stations on land. He says when he was putting together his bid, and even before that, he was approached by an associate of Minister Ntashe, who told him, look, this tender is coming out soon, and well, basically we can help you win it. This is before the thing was even released. In due time, about a month later or so, this thing was released. And again, he was approached and was courted more or less to enter into some kind of arrangement with people who were not at that point named by this associate. So it escalated from there. He was taken to a meeting, which he describes in some detail. It sounds very cloak and dagger, at the upmarket Pretoria restaurant, where he had a senior and somewhat less senior official from the department, allegedly sitting there, as well as a member of Gwede Mantashe's family, where he was told that if he cooperated, he would win the tender. And if he didn't, he would most certainly not win that tender, no matter how good his project was. So that's his story. He goes on to then say that it became clear after that point that he was being sabotaged, essentially, that there was a foregone, predetermined plan to let Car Power Ship win. So that's the long and short of the allegations he makes. He adduces some evidence. I think he's made a lot of allegations for which he hasn't presented exceedingly compelling evidence, but I have a feeling he's holding something in his pocket, because these are not allegations you make on a whim.
Sorry, Dewald, just to be clear, he's suggesting that people, I presume, in the department, linked to the process, offered him a way to win part of this bid. Did they want money in exchange? I mean, is that the allegation?
Well, in his words, they wanted him to cooperate, which, I mean, is open to interpretation. One would imagine it means a kickback or participation in some, part of the ownership structure of the thing. We don't exactly know what they wanted, because in his version, he was left in a huff and said, no way, I am far too ethical, I would never entertain such a thing. Whether he was in fact that holy, we of course can't know. One would always portray yourself as such. There's one other thing he alleges, which I can tell you now involves Gwede Mantashe's wife. He claims, essentially, that Car Power Ship managed to lobby Mantashe's wife, and that she somehow influenced the process to grant them an exemption for a very important piece of submission they were late with, hence making their submission possible in the first place, Car Power Ship. Now, Mantashe's wife and Mantashe himself have come back to us today, dismissing all allegations and saying they're very keen to go to court and clear their names and all that. Interestingly enough, Gwede Mantashe doesn't really deny the Cree meeting. In fact, he seems to know about it and says that these officials have taken a risk and they need to deal with it themselves, which is a strange answer to give. Obviously, he's not implicated. No one says he was there, but he kind of implies that he knows such a meeting did in fact take place. He also said that this business associate that allegedly, courted the person pushing the court case, he knows who it is. He knows who we're talking about, even though that person is not named. And he says, look, this guy didn't do anything on my behalf. Again, I'm going to go to court and I'm going to clear my name. People are just dragging my name in the mud for whatever ulterior purpose they have, and so on.
Just sort of talking to what you're saying there, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dewald. I mean, there's a short statement that's been released in the last little while, the last hour or so, I think, from the Energy Ministry. They confirm receipt of a High Court application from DNG Power Holdings. This is the company that's owned by the person you're talking about. The Department and the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy intend to oppose the matter in court. They say it's sub judice, so they won't comment on the merits of it. They wish to reiterate that the Risk Mitigation Independent Power Producer Procurement Program was implemented. They go through the law, and they say that essentially it made sure that there was a process that was fair, equitable, transparent, competitive, and cost-effective. So that's the sort of official statement. In other words, to read between the lines or to put it all together, they sort of deny the allegations. They look forward to the court case. You're suggesting you've had more personal contact from the minister